Hey, good to see you again. So, about 2 weeks ago, I made this tweet asking for musicians and producers who are directly involved in our community to share some of their work with me so that way I could make a video like this, where I could showcase some of the best things that I found, comment a little bit on the production and some of the stylistic choices, maybe compare it to some of the stuff that we've heard before across the community, with the intent of encouraging people to use their work in levels. We're not seeing as much representation of these people who are filling both of these roles of being both musicians and creators slash community members. And that's something that I wanted to see more of and perhaps encourage today. So I reached out to all of you, expecting to get maybe 20 responses or so to sort of pick the 7, 8, 9 best ones. It's not how that went. I got 60 responses, which I'm really happy about. I'm really grateful that everyone shared this around to get as many people into the video as possible. So I'll be listening to every submission, giving a little bit of feedback here and there if I can, commenting on some of the production choices, commenting on the stylistic and artistic choices as well, if at all possible, and comparing it to some of the songs that we've already heard as, members of the community, so that way people can maybe get inspired to use some of these songs. And I'll be sure to include as many high-quality submissions in the video as I possibly can. So without further ado, let's get to it. So the way that we're going to go about doing this is we're going to use an RNG just to spice things up. I've numbered it from 1 to 59 because that's how many submissions that I have that were submitted normally. There are 4 more under what I call the CUPTCHA files. I will get to that later. But we're just going to pick one of these at random, see what we land on, and hopefully we strike some gold. So our first song that we will be listening to will be number 7. Okay. So number 7 takes us to Test 8 by Jaro. So let's give it a listen. Okay. We got some like reverby slash decayed synths going on back there. I like that this kick has some wet frequencies on the high end that are kind of being let through. It really fits the atmosphere. Okay. It's a nice snare. I can tell that this is sort of, whoa. That's awesome. Okay, so there's some hard panning going on. So there's like almost like a xylophone instrument that's going through my right ear. And there's a little bit of it's almost like an electric piano, I guess, that's going through my left. Looks like we got a little bit of a bridge section. Ooh, that's cute. That's kind of like almost like an electric guitar, but like with an effect pedal on it. But it's like to the extent that it's almost synthetic. Okay. Nice. Nice. I like that. Okay. They're not scouted, which is surprising. Do they have other okay, they have 3 songs now. Songs to transition to FL Studio. This isn't even on, oh, it's on Soundtrap. Okay, I'll have to make sure Soundtrap is allowed by Newgrounds before I go any further, but I am enjoying what's going on with Jaro so far. I could see Test 8 in particular being used in something kind of like a drift by Taman, or however you say that. Sort of like one of those like atmospheric, relatively lengthy, slightly themed normal 3 levels. I think that really fit nicely in there. That brings us to number 45. Oh, Lucky Tunes. I believe I've spoken to this person before. Classic wind sound effects. Oh, 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 oh. Ah, so good. Okay. I'm digging the notes that you've got going on here. I'm digging the atmosphere of it. These drums are very loud. This is a good piano melody. I dig that. I would highly recommend throwing a limiter on the master just to cut out. Notice how across the tops of these waves here, notice how it's going into the top. That's like the maximum that it can go before it starts clipping. So any of the audio information that's being left in a peak higher than that is going to sound like distorted and crunchy and clip. Our next one will be number 12. Oh, it's Sun Death. Oh, this is so good. Okay, so this is from a friend of mine, and we participated in a music contest together. And this was their entry for round 3, which blew all of ours out of the water. Like a THX opening. Wow. Oh my god. Okay. What I love about this is that there is really no melody. And so when you have no melody, you have to go about compensating for building tension and progression in other ways. And the way that this goes about doing it is partially with volume, but mostly with distortion, which is awesome. Okay. There was a glitch VST going on there. Notice how we sound completely different from where we were before all of a sudden. Even though we haven't changed the melody, we haven't even really changed the rhythm, but we've changed the distortion a little bit. We've added some glitches, we've added some new, like, sound textures to it. Riser? We finally get one snare drum, and it's like a climactic event. That's how this tension is. The song is sort of my interpretation of a collapsing star. The intro begins relatively calm and peaceful, representing the final stages of the star's life cycle before it begins to enter a phase of collapse. The rest of the song represents the release of the star's energy as it collapses, building up to the moment where it finally implodes and disperses its matter back into space. It's still rhythmic, but it's just noise. I love it. It's dispersing now. Okay. So this is a work of art. I don't think it's meant to adhere to the conventional standards of music. I'm not entirely sure if it's intended to be built to, but I think it would work really well with another, work of art that's meant to make a representation of something and be a sort of programmatic visual of something else that's really going on, like in the Radiator. Our next one will be 22. I don't know about you. Mechanical Roots by Jam Attack. Okay. Oh, we've got a lot of atmosphere going on in these first few notes. We've got the droning back there. And I think it's widened to the far ends of the stereo field. Okay. Okay. So something cool that does is a sort of a really classic trick. It's even actually in the first movement of Moonlight Sonata, so it's been around for a long time. Playing the same arpeggiated chord over different and changing harmonic contexts in the background. And I'm pretty sure there's a term for that, but I don't know what it is because I'm not a music theory expert. Whooshing sounds are so nice. This has a lot of very subtle, small details that really add a lot to the feeling. It's almost like exhaust coming out of like a chimney or something. Like a factory. Ah, that hard-hitting little snare back there that's sort of like buried in the mix but still makes that impact. Low-key, there are some parts of this that I feel like if you were to take out some of the reverb, like chip up some of the sounds, not necessarily bit crush them, but like squarize them, and like speed it up like a lot, it would almost kind of be comparable to a Water Flame song, which is hype. 49, which is A Warm Winter's Morning by Denuaz. It's front-paged. Okay. Oh, walking down baseline. Bom, bom, bom. Those arps are really nice. The homely sound. I think that's used in a lot of the Pokemon soundtrack when you're in your hometown. Oh, that chord was so good. Ooh. There's like very slightly like delay 3'd wind chime sounds back there. Oh. Very much fits your description down here of the fluffiest pile of fluff stuff. Happy music the world has ever seen. I can't particularly see it being used in anything above like 4 or 5 stars in difficulty, but it would be really, really great for like a Christmas themed like art level, I would say. Next we have 6. Oh, Clockwork. I was supposed to swap this out with a different song per his request. Give me a minute. Ah, yes, I totally remember to do that before I started recording. Oh, a choir's going on? It's like sinister almost. Loud. I'm gonna turn it down slightly. Oh! Basses are groovy. Snares, okay. Good lord, dude. Okay, these snares are usually not my jam, but this is like it's like a classic dubby build-up. Tape stop, and then just go to town with it. It doesn't do the like the rhythm thing where it's just like there's an actual like note that's being held there. Really fun. There's a lot of high ends going on in there. The fun thing about that is that while the highs are a little bit overloaded and almost kind of overbearing in those parts, when the lows come back in with the kick drums, it really, like, adds a little bit of meat and substance to that part of the song. Okay, ever since Virtual Riot did one of these, I've been obsessed with fake out buildups. And I apparently everyone is. Notice that it builds you up like it's going to do the same thing that the first one does, where it tape stops and then throttles you full speed into the, like, most energetic part of the song. It drops you off for, like, about 8 bars, I think, and then pulls you back in. So it's a more gradual increase to that intensity. The slaps. You know those, like, Dansman distort offshoot demon levels that are, like, and there's just a whole lot of high intensity, like, shaking, and, like, visual effects going on, but it's like, oh yeah, like, really straightforward. Literally textbook music for one of those. Untitled Song 2, a little more tilted this time. A little more titled this time. Excuse me. Ooh. Pitch bends are my jam. Love them to death. Wow. Okay, that change actually kind of slapped a little bit, but the volume disparity was a little bit, it made it a little bit more jarring than it was probably intended to be. But I loved the, like, the energy switch there. Those are very slow tape stops that are going on as well. I am sort of digging what's going on in the drop here. I feel like the composition really ramped itself up to the point where it feels like everything sort of flows together now. I feel like it was a little bit traily in the beginning, but it definitely worked its way into it, which is great. Aw, it's a bit of an abrupt ending. I dig some of the melodies that were going on in there. That was pretty alright. Very interesting song. There's a little bit of production wishy-washiness going on in this one, but it's fun. Prismatic Galaxy by Dazon. Dazon? Dazone. Okay, right off the bat, we've got automation in a wave-like form on the panning of the might actually be the master, which I'm not entirely sure if it's something that you want to do. Either that or it's just the only sound being played and it's only applying to that. Really cool effect, though. This might be a little much, but... Oh, the snares just got heavier. They should have been like that from the get-go, my dude. Okay, I like all the things that are going on in here. It feels like the pacing is a little long. Like, it feels like the parts could have probably been half as long as they are, and it would have felt more, like, natural. It's a great, you know, techno beat. If someone can find a way to use that in an effective way, then more power to them. And now we go to 58. That's all the way at the bottom. Speed. Liquid drum and bass track. Okay. Ooh. Cute arps. Nice subtle hat back there. Definitely liquid drum and bass. I almost want the kicks to be a little bit louder and more present. Nice! That's cute, I like that. Really nice use of white noise risers in this. Nice. Oh, I kind of wish it would have left the tail out so that the reverb could have drowned out a little bit. I'm pretty sure, like, quieter kicks is, like, a standard for liquid drum and bass. The snare in the beginning was quite the contrary. It was a little bit too loud, I think, but not noticeable to the point where it actually, like, left, like, a detrimental mark on the song. Pretty solid liquid drum and bass, man. Wow. The second to last, and now the second to first. Incredible. Oh, Osk. Okay. Whoa. Ooh, that's a really meaty bass sound. Nice percussion. Feels like it's missing either some mids or some low ends on the frequency spectrum. It feels like the highs are kind of like everywhere, which I'm sure they'll come back in later to sort of fill in the space because it's like a build-up, but it sounds a little weird. There it is. I still feel like it's missing a little bit of the mid-range. It's not like detrimental to it or anything, but it feels like it kind of dips. You know, like there's a low end, and then it dips, and then there's a high end. Groovy, though. Whoa! Where's the rhythm taking me there? I could sort of see it being used in like a 6-star like modern level maybe. We go from 2 to 16, which is called Steamroll. Also front paged. Bongos. There's not a whole lot of low frequencies going on. That's really nice, though. It gives me kind of, like, mysterious, dark, like, magic cave exploration vibes in a way. Kind of like some of the parts of Castlemania, like in the underground areas. You've been bringing the strings in on us. That's cool. This part feels like it's kind of drowning in reverb a little. Ooh. We're pitch bending. And just on a reverbed out minor second. Yeah. Yeah. Good way to do that. Sounds really muddy and reverby here in the middle, and I'm not quite sure why. But the beginning and the ending are fantastic. 56, which is Polar Prism Weeds. Drums are loud, kind of cool. Interesting groove. Oh, that's kind of funky. Kind of not allowing it to cut off the way that it naturally would, so it sort of creates this like glitchy effect that you would almost hear in like an Into You song. Volume control's a little funky on this. Cute. Okay. I could see this being used in something by like a really niche, like almost neo design, a little bit modern creator like Rapid Blaze or like Ivashka. Alkali. Okay. My PC that had the project files to this broke down beyond repair, so I just decided to share with the world the latest version of it that I have. A very Hotline Miami right off the bat. The gated snare, and all, yeah. All 80s synthwave must have tom fills and snares. It's gotta sound like I can feel it coming in the air tonight, or it isn't a real 80s song. Ooh. I like this intimate moment with the synth here. Tritone. Neat. Okay, what was there was pretty nice. I imagine that the mixing didn't go through its final phases just because the computer broke down midway through the project being created, but I feel like this moment from 117, with the intimate moment with that synth building into this last part, I feel like that would make for a really good like synth wave sort of level. You know what I'm talking about. You've seen one before. They're everywhere. 59. All the way at the end. Easy to Breathe by Void Prophecy. They got the star profile picture, they got the front page and everything.
Really forget you. Everything reminds me, but I guess it is deserve it.
Okay.
I don't doubt you have trouble moving on.
This is a really smooth, like, voice for this. I feel like it could be slightly off in some aspects just because non-professional vocalists, woo, I totally know the feeling. But I dig what's going on here. It fits the mood.
At least in the moment. Easy to breathe but hard to swallow. What it did to you, it made me hollow.
Nice harmonies going on there.
Breathe but hard to swallow.
I'm surprised that this uses a Yeti, because normally those microphones are not all that great for recording vocal fidelity. I like the guitar that's going on in that. Is that like... There's a ping pong delay that's going on there? I think. That was like actually really nice. I'm curious to see what else this person does. It's very good lo-fi with lyrics, which I believe is sort of coming to be a trend now. I could see maybe like a Sam Max level using it, or like I know levels like Luea really like throttled the idea of like putting lyrics into stuff, into full motion with Neo design stuff. So I could totally see that. Okay. Woo! There's our little 80s synth back there. Kind of buried in the mix, but...
What does it mean to be my only?
I definitely would recommend looking into... It doesn't look like they use FL Studio, so I don't know what the Live 11 equivalent of Newtone is. I know people don't like autotune because there's like this stigma associated with it, like people call it like fixing a lack of talent. No one can get pitch perfectly in studio recordings all the time, and it doesn't sound as robotic as you think it would if you get it just close enough. I would highly recommend looking into one, because like the first time that I used it, even though I was like, oh man, I gotta use pitch correction, blew my mind, almost made me cry, because it was like, this is what it was supposed to sound like this whole time. You know what I mean? So just in a sort of like a heart-to-heart aspect, don't worry about it. And it can be totally a personal choice to include some of the fluctuations and offness of the pitch in there to give it a little bit more of a raw human sound as well, which is totally fine. I know some people might be a little bit turned away from that because most of what it is that they're now exposed to on a frequent common basis is a lot more inside the lines. That we are seeing a little bit of a resurgence of an appreciation for microtones, which is like essentially sort of what that is, if you want to call it that. So I definitely see this person going somewhere. I actually kind of want to follow them, because this is like kind of nice. Number 19, Malicious Intentions by Chaos Kun. The most chaotic track I've ever made. Hadn't had this much fun making a track in a long time though. Pretty satisfied on how it turned out. Fun usually means good. It's a very DJ Janner synth. Oh, that's kind of awesome. Hold on. I can't. Is that like a hyper distorted, like whatever those Osu kicks are? I can't quite figure it out. Okay, there's a lot of talent in this. I'm totally going to send it to a friend of mine. I have a feeling that they're probably really good. And I just happened to fall on a joke. Oh, he was only using 10% of his power. We've just found M2U in the flesh. This is awesome. Oh yeah. You got that liquid color-based sound going on in there, but in very small amounts. Oh man. Ooh! We're favoriting that, my dude. Oh, I need more of this. Oh, I need so much more of this. Anime girl. Oh, this man's jazzy. Where did that come from? Okay, they very much feel more like an Osu artist than a GD artist, but very grooving what's going on right now. Hack into the main frame. There was more to that. Of the Bruh Dog Empire. There's that super, super jazzy drum already. That piano is really far back in the mix. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's not even fair. I'm scared. A surprise, but not an unwelcome one. This is fun. Whoever can tame this beast, go right ahead. I thought I had it all together, Chief. I really did. I do not. We've only gotten through about a third of these, and I've been going at it for like 4 or 5 hours now. I really need to stop. We didn't even get to the Kupcha files either, which is depressing. Basically, if you want to know what the Kupcha files are, Danil Kupcha sent an entire, like, 11 tweet response to my tweet with a whole bunch of different artists. To make it fair, I only selected and put on the list ones where the original artists liked their replies. So that way it was kind of like acknowledging and giving consent for me to do this with their music. So there are only 4 of them, but I don't think I can even get to that. So what I'm saying is, I would love to do another one of these someday. Um, because we still have so much to get through, and so many potential hidden gems to uncover. I'm really satisfied with the polls that we got today. And in case anyone were to want to submit more, I would love to continue taking submissions on that tweet, which I will link in the description, alongside every song that was featured in this video now. But if you're interested in seeing more of them, by all means let me know, and I will continue making 40-minute long episodes until we finish this. So with that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, especially to those of you who watched this entire thing, because God, it's long. Um, I hope everyone enjoyed this. Have a wonderful rest of your day.